Go for it.
All right. Okay, what I'd like to do today is talk a little bit about Novak Djokovic, the GOAT, the rubber band man, the Serbian sniper. Okay, what I'd like to do is talk about his serve. Let me tell you the good, some things that could be done a little better, okay, and just kind of break it down. Some things will be a little vanilla. Some things will be based a little bit more on biomechanical principles. So if you look how he starts, he's going to have a platform stance. His left foot is kind of at the net post. His right foot is parallel to the baseline. He actually, when he goes down, he tosses the left arm first. He gets the palm up, which is very important, the palm up and back. What that does, it creates a counter rotation of the spine, so you're going to get more torque coming through. But if you watch his left hand, it stays up, okay, before he hits the ball. Hold on a second. I got an ad here. Okay. His left arm stays up. He has what we call a lag where the racket's down. The Joker does something a little different where he actually drops the wrist on the take back. Club players can experiment with this. This will create a little more fluidity or relaxation, but sometimes when it's a little disconnected there, then you got to play catch up. It all depends on if you're tight or loose, but if you want to get a little more relaxation, you can try dropping the wrist when you take the racket back. When the Joker serves, he has a continental grip like most high-level players. You can see the left arm goes up. He gets in what we call the power position, the trophy position, the cocking phase, or the loading phase. What I mean by that, shoulder, shoulder, elbow. If you were on the computer and you drew a straight line, you would see a straight line pretty much through his shoulder, shoulder, elbow. This alignment is critical when you drive up if you want to get into a dynamic cartwheel. Very important, because the serve, it's a throwing action, but it's a little different. It's a little different than, say, throwing a baseball where you're throwing down, where a tennis serve, it's a throwing action, but you're hitting up. Notice when he tosses the ball, okay, his head is up, and even when he makes contact with the ball, okay, the head is up. Very, very important. Now, let me talk about what the Joker, because he's 6'3", he has a very elastic body, and I just feel his serve could have been a lot better. But before I get into what he could have done or what he still can do to make it better, the leg drive does initiate the racket speed. This is the number one culprit around the world. What I mean by that, the racket's on the hitting side. You see the palm is down. When he drives his legs, that brings the racket into the back. It's what we call counterintuitive. Leg drive initiates racket speed, okay? But a lot of people leak or they put it in too soon. I see this with the thousands of videos that I analyze where people are in 100% or even 20% is going to rob you of power. The leg drive on the Joker serve does initiate the racket speed, okay? And then as a result, the racket, if you look where his racket is, it's kind of near the right scapula, the right shoulder blade. The racket should stay on that side of the body. A lot of players, especially juniors, a little bit more on the female side, the racket actually ends up on the other side of the head. And then you're dead. Okay, you got the human helicopter. So now let me tell you what the Joker doesn't do. And his serve could be or could have been at least 10 to 15 miles faster if he would have done this. When you load the system, and what I mean by the system, it's the body. When you prepare, whether you're doing a platform or your pinpoint, you want at least 65 to 70% of the weight on the back foot. If you look at the Joker, he tosses the ball when the weight's on the left foot, which is fine. You want that. You want the toss to go when you have the weight on the front foot. But 70% should be on the back foot. And if you look at Novak, when he goes into the power position, the loading phase, the cocking phase, the trophy position, he's already shifting his weight forward. And when he drives up, okay, he's not getting that much off the ground. It's what we call a cause and an effect. He's not using the ground effectively because he's not pushed on the ground correctly to drive up. He's almost left the ground. His weight is prematurely in there too soon. So what happens is, even though he has a loose arm and his serve is improved dramatically, if you look at it for being 6'3", there's other guys his size or even shorter, okay, and a little bit is genetic, how people jump, but it's all how the leg drive initiates the racket. But if you look at his back leg, he's already going forward, okay, instead of up, which we call vertical, and then it turns into linear. And that's how you get this explosive dynamic cartwheel. The Joker doesn't have enough weight on the back foot. He's forward way, way too soon, okay? But let's face it, if you practice tens of millions of anything, okay, your serve's going to get better. But even Novak, the greatest of all time, okay, his serve could be much better, okay? If he had more weight on the back foot longer, and we're talking milliseconds, you can see he's already starting to go in before showtime. And you want more weight on the back foot to load the system. He doesn't have hardly any weight on the back foot. So when you look at his exploding off the ground, it's not that high at all. Then you look at someone else like Federer, okay, you'll see he's twice as high. Or Roddick, he's twice as high. A little bit's genetic and someone's jumping ability, but it's also timing. It's all timing and it's all biomechanics. One more look here. The weight's going to go on the back foot a little bit, but he's already shifting forward. And the angle of the right knee. This is one of the most common mistakes I see around the globe. The angle of the right knee should be parallel to the baseline. A lot of people invert it towards the net too soon, and the weight is in front of the right groin, and it should be behind the right hip. So at the end of the day, anybody can improve. It doesn't matter what level, but the Joker does a lot of things that will help a lot of club players, but even the Joker serve could be a lot better. And definitely put this